When your family disrespects you, do this instead to earn quiet respect and protect your peace. Have you ever felt the sting of being ignored by your own family? It's a subtle ache that seeps into your heart, especially when it comes from those you've cherished and stood by for so long. The most maddening part? Anger only deepens the divide. The louder you shout, the more they turn a deaf ear. The more you try to articulate your feelings, the more they dismiss you with a roll of their eyes. So what do you do when the respect you crave is absent, yet you're not ready to sever those ties? In this video, we're going to delve into a topic that many shy away from: how to navigate the complexities of family dynamics when you feel unheard. When someone disrespects you, it can be a painful experience. Yet it's possible to respond without anger, without pleading, and without losing your sense of self. These 7 strategies are not about seeking revenge or playing mind games. They are about reclaiming your inner strength in subtle yet profound ways that transform how others perceive you, how they treat you, and, most importantly, how you feel about yourself. Stay with us until the end, because the final tip may hold the key to a powerful shift, not just in how your family interacts with you, but in how you navigate every relationship in your life. If you've ever felt disrespected, this journey is for you. If you've ever felt dismissed or belittled by those who are supposed to be closest to you, this video is meant for you. Let's dive in. Number 1. Emotional distance that commands respect. When faced with disrespect from family, the instinctive reactions are often to explain, plead, or lash out in anger. Yet these responses rarely yield the results you desire. Instead, they can inadvertently strengthen the very behavior you wish to change. What truly transforms the dynamic is something much more subtle and intentional: emotional distance. This doesn't imply severing ties or cutting off contact, but rather, embracing a sense of coldness signifies a powerful shift. It's about reclaiming your own peace by stepping back from the relentless pursuit of their approval. When a family member speaks over you, dismisses your advice, or treats your kindness as if it were merely an obligation, it's only human to feel the urge to mend things. Yet attempting to fix something that lacks genuine appreciation turns into a one-sided endeavor. By creating emotional distance, you allow others to truly feel the impact of your absence, even while you remain physically present. It manifests as not rushing to answer their calls simply for their convenience, and it means refraining from going out of your way to offer support that isn't reciprocated. It's heartbreaking when help is taken for granted. You stay kind, polite, and calm, but eventually you reach a point where you can no longer overextend yourself. That subtle shift in your behavior speaks volumes, far louder than any confrontation ever could. I once knew a man named James, 78, who devoted himself to driving his daughter and her children all over town for appointments, errands, anything they needed. He never uttered a complaint, but as time passed, they stopped expressing gratitude. They began to assume he would always be there for them. When he finally brought it up, they laughed it off, dismissing his feelings as overly sensitive. So he made a simple yet profound choice. He stopped. He didn't argue. He simply returned to his own schedule with a quiet resolve. It didn't take long for them to notice, and more importantly, to approach him with a newfound respect the next time they needed something. This kind of emotional boundary isn't about being cold or withholding. It's about understanding that love without limits can often fade into the background. When you give endlessly, people may stop recognizing the value of what you offer because it's always there, seemingly without cost. So the most compassionate thing you can do, especially after years of overgiving, is to gently shift the weight back onto their side. Let them feel the balance of give and take. Reach out and let them ponder the absence of your vibrant energy. That moment of pause in your efforts might just be the spark that reignites their appreciation for you. It's crucial to recognize how emotional distance can be a breath of fresh air. It grants you the space to truly breathe and allows you to see your own worth with newfound clarity, independent of their responses. Once you start living from that empowered place, not from frustration or the need to please others, but from a deep, quiet self-respect, you transform into someone who naturally commands a different kind of treatment from others. Not because you demanded it, but simply because you stopped compromising yourself. It can be so easy to overlook, but sometimes the most profound message is the one conveyed through silence and restraint. When faced with disrespectful moments, like when a family member hurls a hurtful comment, be it dismissive, sarcastic, or outright rude, your initial reaction might be to defend yourself, to retaliate, or to clarify their misunderstanding. Yet the reality is that engaging in an argument in those moments doesn't showcase your strength. It reveals your vulnerability. And when others witness that, they can push your buttons, even if it's unintentional, and that can lead to them not taking you seriously in the future. However, what truly works wonders, though it requires some practice, is silence. Intentional, well-placed silence. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It embodies clarity. It sends a powerful message. I heard you, but I refuse to let your words hold any power over me. In families, especially where patterns run deep, this kind of silence can profoundly disrupt long-standing dynamics in the most positive way. When you choose to go quiet after a disrespectful remark, you're doing so much more than simply ignoring the comment. You're refusing to reward it. You're making that moment feel heavier, and that weight often brings a sense of awareness. Even if they don't voice it, they notice. Over time, they begin to think twice. I knew a woman named Susan, 74, who faced teasing at every family dinner. They would call her old-fashioned or say she worried too much. She used to laugh along, but deep down, it affected her. Just to maintain harmony, but it cut deep. One year, she ceased to laugh. She didn't reply at all. She simply gazed at the person, held their gaze for a fleeting moment, and then shifted her focus away. The atmosphere in the room shifted dramatically. Conversations dwindled, and eventually her family became aware of the void. They longed for her warmth, her stories, her very presence. That's the irony of silence. Sometimes the absence of words speaks louder than anything else in the room. This method resonates most powerfully when accompanied by serene body language. No eye rolls, no sighs, no theatrical exits. Just a moment of stillness, a brief pause, and then a gentle return to your plate, to your book, to a task that doesn't require you to justify yourself to someone who isn't prepared to hear you. You remain anchored in your dignity, untouched by their chaos. The urge to fill the silence with a joke or a correction may tug at you, but if you can hold that silence, even for just a few seconds, you allow yourself the opportunity to reconnect with your own strength. You step away from the familiar role you've always played and begin to embrace something new. It might feel uncomfortable at first, perhaps even unsettling. It may feel uncomfortable, but that very discomfort is a sign of growth, a beautiful indication that a pattern is starting to shift. If you're still here soaking in these insights, please drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I wholeheartedly encourage you to do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment of our journey together. Your support means the world and empowers us to keep creating meaningful content that informs and inspires. Now let's dive into number 3, small boundaries that create a significant impact, one of the most underrated ways to restore balance. In a family, respect is such a fundamental pillar, and it all begins with setting boundaries. It's essential to approach this with a sense of calm and consistency without making a fuss. When people hear the word boundaries, they often picture dramatic confrontations or severing ties completely. But the truth is, real boundaries are subtle. They manifest as quiet lines drawn in the fabric of our daily lives. Once you start establishing these boundaries, even in the smallest of ways, you begin to teach others how to treat you, all without raising your voice. Boundaries are not just about what others do, they are profoundly about what you choose to accept. Perhaps it's your daughter calling late at night, pouring out her feelings, leaving you too wound up to find rest. Perhaps a boundary could be letting that call go to voicemail after 9 p.m. And then there's your son, expecting you to drop everything and babysit at a moment's notice, never even uttering a thank you. A boundary here might simply be saying, I'm not available this weekend, without feeling the need to justify yourself. Each of these choices sends a powerful message. Your time is valuable, your rest is essential, and your peace cannot be compromised. I once knew a man named Robert, 81, who felt compelled to attend every family gathering, even when it drained him. He would endure uncomfortable moments, sitting through arguments and tolerating backhanded jokes, only to leave feeling utterly drained. Then one year he made a quiet yet powerful choice. He RSVP'd no. No explanation, no apology, just a simple, polite decline. That small act of self-protection sent ripples through his family. They began to notice his absence, not just in a physical sense, but emotionally as well. Curiosity replaced anger as they pondered what could possibly make him feel respected enough to return. The key to this transformation lies in boundaries. Don't just speak them, embody them. If you set a time when you won't be available, honor it with unwavering commitment. When someone addresses you in a way that no longer feels acceptable, take a deep breath and excuse yourself with grace. Don't re-engage until the tone has shifted. This isn't about being confrontational. It's about honoring your own self-worth. Over time, even the most indifferent family member will start to notice that something has shifted. Your time, your energy, your presence, they are not just given freely. They are precious privileges. Establishing boundaries reveals something profound about who you are. It serves as a powerful reminder that you are not powerless against disrespect. You possess choices, you have options, and you deserve to be treated with the respect you give to others. You absolutely deserve to navigate your days with dignity, even when it feels like others are unwilling to provide it. When you start to honor yourself in these small, consistent ways, you break free from the cycle of waiting for others to treat you with respect. You no longer seek permission to be valued. Instead, you embody what that respect looks like through your very presence. This kind of self-assured leadership can create a ripple effect, transforming your surroundings. Not immediately, but gradually with a profound and lasting impact. Remember, actions resonate far more powerfully than mere words, especially when you face disrespect, particularly from those closest to you. There's an instinctive desire to clarify, to correct, or to guide. You might catch yourself thinking, if only I could make them see all that I've sacrificed, maybe they would treat me with the respect I deserve. Yet far too often, those heartfelt explanations go unheard, dismissed, or even worse, turned against you. This happens because when someone has already chosen to disregard your words lose their power. What truly resonates, however, are your actions, especially those that are consistent, quiet, and undeniable. People pay attention to patterns, not just words. They notice when you begin to transform the dynamics, when you refrain from jumping in to fix everything, when you gently remind them to reach out, and when you quietly step away from conversations that overstep boundaries. There's no need to announce your actions. Simply embody them, and over time, they will start to perceive you in a new light. This shift isn't born from your words, but from the way you carry yourself, demanding a deeper level of respect. That change in energy often sows the seeds of admiration, where there was once mere expectation. I once knew a remarkable woman named Nancy, 76, who was the heart of her family, the peacemaker who brought harmony to every gathering. The kids would argue, and she always stepped in when someone forgot a birthday, ensuring it was still celebrated. Yet year after year, her heartfelt efforts went unnoticed and taken for granted. So she decided to try something different. Instead of giving a lecture, she simply stepped back. When no one planned for her own birthday, she chose not to mention it. Instead, she spent the day with a neighbor, quietly finding contentment. That one act, devoid of drama or guilt, transformed everything. Her children suddenly realized just how much she had been holding everything together. Not through words, but through the profound absence of her effort that they finally felt deeply. A truly powerful way to communicate respect is through modeling. When you embody dignity, speaking calmly, stepping away from toxic situations, and dedicating your time to those who appreciate it, you teach others not through words, but through your actions. There's no need to explain your choices or justify your boundaries. Those who truly matter will see and understand. As for those who don't, they were never really paying attention anyway. And here's the reality. When you cease the struggle to persuade others to treat you with kindness, you release the weight of your past to embrace a life of fulfillment, regardless of how others react. Break free from the cycle of wondering why they can't see your efforts, and instead turn your focus inward. Ask yourself, what else can I do with my energy today? This simple yet profound question, when asked consistently, has the power to transform your life from mere reaction to true self-leadership. It's not about leading others, it's about mastering yourself. This kind of leadership doesn't shout. It stands a bit taller, speaks a bit slower, and naturally commands attention without ever needing to demand it. If you're still here absorbing these insights, know that you're on a path to something greater. Your presence means the world to me. Please drop a comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I wholeheartedly encourage you to do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment of our journey together. Your support is the lifeblood of our mission to create meaningful content that informs and inspires. Now let's dive into number 5, self-respect. The routines that transform how others perceive you are crucial. After years of prioritizing others, showing up regardless of how you're treated, and placing their comfort above your own, it's all too easy for people to overlook or never truly recognize your immense value. That's why one of the most empowering actions you can take when you feel disrespected isn't to cry out for acknowledgement, but to channel your energy into nurturing yourself in a different light. It's not about grand gestures. It's about those tender, daily habits that rebuild your self-worth and gradually transform how others perceive you. It could start with the way you choose to dress each morning, not to catch anyone's eye, but to embrace your day with a sense of completeness. It might involve savoring meals at the table rather than in front of the screen, or dedicating time to your own well-being. A space that is clean and orderly isn't just for guests. It's a sanctuary for your own peace of mind. It could be as simple as dedicating a few moments each day to a short walk while immersing yourself in the music that resonates with your soul, or diving into a book that broadens your horizons. These aren't mere luxuries. They are profound affirmations to yourself and eventually to those around you, that you cherish your life, your time, and your very presence. I recall a man named William, 80 years old, who devoted most of his life to caring for others. When his family began to treat him as if he had nothing left to give, he chose not to confront them. He didn't complain. Instead, he began to nurture himself. With a fresh haircut and a commitment to attending morning classes at the community center twice a week, a remarkable transformation unfolded. His energy shifted, and he found himself smiling more, speaking with a newfound confidence. His family, too, sensed the change. Though they didn't voice it directly, their tone softened, and they began to listen more intently when he spoke, seeking his opinions once again. It wasn't because he demanded their attention, but because he radiated a spirit that no longer resembled someone who had given up. When you truly show up for yourself, it inspires others to take notice. There's no choice but to recognize that it's not about showing off. It's about embracing yourself with such grace that others can't help but take notice. Why are you standing taller? Why are you speaking less and smiling more? That intrigue often blossoms into admiration, and admiration transforms into respect, even from those who once overlooked you. What truly matters is that these rituals are not for them, they are for you. The instant you start treating yourself with the love and attention you've always yearned to receive from others, you break free from dependency, their validation, and oh, how ironic it is that this is when people begin to give it, not out of obligation, but from a place of inspiration. That transformation ignites within you with every small, consistent action that whispers, I still matter. I always did. Number 6, strength and support that reach beyond the confines of family. When respect is absent within the family, it can feel as though the world is closing in, as if those you were meant to rely on have stepped back or gone silent. In that profound loneliness, it becomes all too easy to start believing that something is inherently wrong with you, or that, when you feel lost and have nowhere else to turn, it's crucial to remember something that often goes unspoken. One of the quickest paths to reclaiming your sense of worth isn't about mending family ties, but rather about seeking connection beyond them. Friends, neighbors, community groups, and even kind strangers can uplift your spirit in ways that blood relations sometimes cannot. Sadly, many older adults find their social circles shrinking over time. Children move away, old friends fade into the background, and before you know it, you're relying heavily on just a few family members who remain. It's a quiet struggle that can leave you feeling isolated, but there's hope in reaching out and embracing the warmth of new connections. It can be so heartbreaking when those close to you stop treating you with the kindness you deserve. That heavy reliance can quickly turn into emotional quicksand, pulling you down deeper. But here's the silver lining. You are never too old to broaden your horizons. Whether it's joining a weekly class, a faith group, a walking club, or simply exchanging smiles with a familiar face at the grocery store, those small interactions outside your home can begin to replenish what the disrespect has drained away. I once knew a remarkable woman named Margaret, who at 82 felt as though she had been silenced at home. Her son rarely visited, and her grandchildren were polite yet distant. One day, she took a brave step and started volunteering twice a month at a local community kitchen, not merely out of free time, but driven by a deep yearning to feel useful once more. Within weeks, a transformation unfolded. Her laughter returned, her posture lifted, and when her son finally visited, he remarked, "You seem different, Mom." It was as if her life had expanded beyond the confines of his perception. These external connections are not mere substitutes. They are powerful reinforcements, illuminating the vastness of what she still has to give. They remind her of the richness of her conversations and the enduring value of her wisdom, especially when her identity had become so tightly woven into the fabric of others' expectations. It's so easy to lose sight of your own worth when surrounded by those who don't respect you. But the moment you start channeling your energy into spaces where it's truly appreciated, you can feel your confidence begin to mend, softly, steadily, and unapologetically. And here's the powerful part. When your family notices that you're no longer waiting for their validation, that you're choosing to invest in relationships with those who genuinely see and cherish you, they start to reconsider. It may not happen overnight, but gradually the message becomes undeniable. You are not trapped, you are not desperate, and you are certainly not living by their rules anymore. If you're still here, soaking in these insights and finding them valuable, please drop a comment with the number 6 below to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I truly encourage you to do so and hit that bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Your support means the world to us and empowers us to keep creating meaningful content that informs and inspires you. Now let's dive into number 7, reframing disrespect as a mirror, not a measure. When a family member disrespects you, it's all too easy to internalize it, to let it chip away at your sense of worth and magnify your perceived failures. The type of parent or sibling you've been may not always reflect the truth of who you are. Disrespect often stems not from clarity, but from confusion, projection, or deep-seated pain. When someone addresses you with coldness, dismissiveness, or sarcasm, they are not truly defining you. Instead, they are unveiling their own struggles, their stress, their immaturity, and their unresolved emotions. Recognizing this can liberate you from the weight of burdens that were never meant to be yours. There is a profound strength that arises from this understanding, a quiet resilience that empowers you to rise above the noise. This means you begin to free yourself from the weight of every harsh word, no longer viewing them as personal assaults. Instead, you start to see those moments as mere reflections, not as definitions of your worth. It's akin to gazing into a cracked mirror and finally understanding that the distortions you see are not your fault. The most liberating part is that when you cease to react to their projections, they gradually lose their desire to hurl them at you. I once knew a man named George, 85, who had spent countless years desperately seeking his son's approval. No matter what he did, gifts, support, visits, it was never enough. The hurtful comments kept coming, echoing in his heart. You were never, you were there when I needed you. Yet it feels like you just don't understand. But instead of resisting, George began to listen, his heart open to a new perspective. He shared with me, I realized he wasn't addressing me. He was reaching out to the father he holds in his mind. That realization shifted everything. George continued to be present, but he let go of the need to apologize for the past, for the things he had already made peace with. Over time, the atmosphere softened. This is the essence of leading with grace rather than resentment. It's about viewing others' actions through a compassionate lens, not one clouded by confusion. That is the beauty of understanding. Isn't about justifying bad behavior. It's about grasping it deeply enough so that it doesn't cling to you. When you achieve this understanding, a profound sense of peace washes over you, allowing you to view your own narrative with clarity, not through the harsh judgments of others, but through the lens of your own wisdom and introspection. When you embrace this kind of grace, you become unshakable. Your energy transforms. You cease to soak up negativity like a sponge and instead reflect it like a mirror. Yes, you may still experience sadness or frustration, but they won't drag you down, for you'll recognize the distinction. There's a profound distinction between what truly belongs to you and what never did, and those around you can sense that shift. They might not voice it, but deep down, they feel it. You're no longer reacting in the same way. You're not defending yourself or over-explaining. Instead, you stand steady, grounded, and unbothered. That presence carries immense weight, inviting curiosity and respect. Not because you demanded it, but because you've truly embodied it. As a final thought, if your family has ever made you feel small, invisible, or not enough, I want you to hear this. You are not powerless. You don't have to remain in that shadow. You are so much more than that. Shout to be heard, for you owe no one an apology for living with dignity. Every small choice you make, stepping back instead of seeking approval, embracing silence rather than defending yourself, creating routines that uplift you, and reaching out beyond the confines of your home, each one is a powerful affirmation that proclaims, I honor myself, regardless of whether you do. And that profound sense of self-respect creates a beautiful ripple effect. People begin to feel the shift in your energy, and gradually, without any conflict or demands, your presence starts to resonate with a new significance. You transform from being someone they take for granted into someone they genuinely listen to again, if only because your inner peace speaks volumes, drowning out their noise. So if you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this. You can't compel anyone to recognize your worth, but you can choose to live in a way that makes it undeniably clear. And once you embark on this journey, you don't just earn their respect, you gain something far more profound. There's something truly significant here. If this video resonated with you, I wholeheartedly encourage you to share it with someone who might benefit from it as well. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe for more enlightening insights like these. Until we meet again, remember to stay grounded, stay steady, and always hold on to the truth that your worth was never up for debate. Thank you for being with us today. Your presence means so much. We genuinely want to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you intend to incorporate it into your life. Your thoughts matter deeply to us, so don't hold back. Reading your comments brings us immense joy. At 2141, we want to ignite your motivation and uplift your spirits. If this video resonated with you and brought you value, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. Your support means the world to us and fuels our passion to keep creating meaningful content that informs and inspires. Thank you for being a part of our journey, and we can't wait to connect with you in the next video. The YouTube video teaches that when family disrespects you, responding with anger or pleading often deepens conflict. Instead, cultivate quiet respect through emotional distance, silence, boundaries, self-respect, external connections, and reframing disrespect as a reflection of others' struggles, not your worth. These strategies prioritize inner peace and self-worth, transforming how others perceive you without confrontation. Application to modern American life. In today's fast-paced, individualistic U.S. culture, family dynamics can strain under busy schedules and differing values. Applying these lessons means setting boundaries, like declining non-reciprocal favors to protect personal time, a valued commodity. Practicing silence during heated exchanges aligns with American emphasis on emotional intelligence, fostering respect without drama. Building community ties, such as joining local groups, counters the isolation common in urban settings. By nurturing self-respect through daily routines like mindful self-care, you model dignity, resonating with America's focus on personal growth. Reframing disrespect helps navigate diverse family expectations, promoting resilience. These actions empower individuals to live authentically, earning respect while maintaining peace in a culture that celebrates self-reliance and emotional strength.